Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NEEDLIES podcast, the only show that throws together music, movies, and TV. We are here with our season finale, I guess you could say. We are wrapping up the year with the first ever annual NEEDLIES Awards. I'm your host, Kevin, with my co-host,
Noah.
It's been a fucking good year. We've gotten to this point.
Yeah,
this is what we've
been doing this for a year.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like to think that we started this shit back in January. This is the first time we're doing this award show.
Back to the first episode,
exactly.
Man, it's been a wild ride. We didn't even have video. Well, you had video.
I did have video, yeah. But we started episode, I think it was 7 or 8. We started doing video again.
Yeah.
Been through a lot this year. This podcast has. This podcast has been through a once in a lifetime winter storm that completely fucking obliterated a week's episode, and
we did. And we did get an episode that will never see the light of day.
Never see the light of day ever.
No one will hear that episode.
Exactly.
But it was an interesting episode that we recorded.
It was
in the winter storm.
I don't even remember what that one was about.
I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember it was, it was a good time.
It was a good time, yeah. And that could have mostly had to do with the fact that we had been trapped inside and it was dark.
Yeah.
And we were probably all a little loopy and freezing.
Oh, without a doubt.
So,
yeah, just huddled over this mic.
This tiny microphone and just doing it. Not like that, but just recording. You know what? Yeah. God. Yeah, we're gonna move on. It's been a very interesting year for us. We have been doing this podcast for this long, and wanted to thank you all for being along for the ride. And this is just the way we're gonna wrap up this year. We're gonna have no more episodes this year, and then we're gonna be back sometime in January. Kind of just doing the same shit as we did with our first episode, probably. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, very exciting, but let's just jump into it. We've got our awards ceremony tonight. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. It's a little bit of a mess. Not gonna lie. I had a very big plan for this.
Yeah,
and then weeks went by. You would be surprised how quickly time flies when you need to plan something and you don't do it.
Yeah.
But we're here and we're going to make it work.
We are going to make it work. And
exactly.
It's going to be
Someone didn't understand the dress code. It's fine.
I did not adhere to the dress code.
Yeah, he's going
rules.
to get a company demerit now and a dock in his pay, obviously.
I will not be getting a bonus this year.
Yeah, no Christmas bonus. But he says he doesn't even like Christmas anyway, so what you need?
I don't even like Christmas anyway, so I don't care.
I would. What the fuck? I don't care if you don't like Christmas. Like, this money.
In this hypothetical situation, I would probably be upset, but, we're gonna make it through.
We are gonna make it through. But yes, we're gonna kind of go over some of the things that we've really been enjoying this year and kind of highlight the things that we've loved. It's been a long, long year, and we both have together consumed a lot of different content. So we're just going to give out some of that recognition today and just, we're gonna talk about it. So the way this episode is going to work is we're going to give out the category. We have a couple categories planned out ahead of time, and we're going to discuss them for about 5 minutes because you know how we are. We like to take a long time talking about shit and not adhering to time limits, but we're going to keep it straight. 5 minutes this time, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yes. Hopefully it actually goes well for us.
I really fucking hope so because my God. If this is a 4-hour episode, I'm going to cry.
Jeez,
probably.
That'd be really bad.
But we're let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. All right. The first category we are going to discuss is who, in our opinion, was the best TV character of 2021. No, I'm going to let you start. 5 minutes on the clock. Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, in my opinion, the best TV character of this year is Kendall Roy from Succession.
Okay.
And yeah, should be no surprise to anyone.
Really? I've never heard you talk about that show.
Oh, really? Wow. Succession is the best show on TV right now. Literally undisputed.
So
and Kendall Roy is, I mean, you can't really say the show has a main character, but if there were a main character, it would be Kendall. And this season really was great for him. And seeing his arc after the aftermath of season 2, I won't spoil. I hope you'll watch soon. But the arc his character kind of went on and the progression you see from the start of the season to by the end of the season, he's in a completely different place. And Jeremy Strong, who plays the character, is absolutely phenomenal and gives what will probably go down as an all-time great TV performance. I'm pretty sure, like, whenever we talk about years from now, and we're talking about The Sopranos and The Wire, and it'll probably be Succession right there. So Jeremy Strong, Kendall Roy for me, he is playing one of the best characters on TV and giving one of the best performances, if not the best performance on TV. And when he wins the Emmy next year, you can say you heard it here first. Even though you didn't hear it here first, you probably heard it. I was going to say,
I'm pretty sure a lot of places have been talking about Succession. I still need to get to Succession. And you know what? I've never shied away from this. I was terrible when it came to watching TV this year.
Yeah.
I was just awful. My focus was I'm going to listen to as much fucking music as I possibly can. And, I neglected TV. And I kind of got more into it towards the end of the year, the latter half. So, honestly, in my mind, there's not a ton of TV character performances that I really felt maybe nearly as strongly as you do about Succession. But I guess like one of my really big highlight series that I really enjoyed watching every week was Reservation Dogs. I loved that show so much. It's definitely one of my favorite series that I watched so far this year. And just everyone in that show is just so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a character though from that show, I'd have to do Willie Jack. Definitely. I don't know if you had seen the series, but her character is just so fucking hilarious. I'm excited that they renewed it for another season, and we got a lot of different range from her character as well. I think especially the episode where she goes hunting with her dad. Not to like spoil too much, obviously, but it was a very emotional episode. But then even just in the day-to-day episodes, just her fucking quips, so fucking funny. Great dynamic with the rest of the characters. It's honestly probably by far one of my favorite shows this year. I am trying to think about even just other stuff that I watched this year that necessarily captivated me nearly as much. I mean, I could say Squid Game, possibly. Like, it was enjoyable, but it's that hype train shit. So I don't want to hop on that necessarily. But that was a damn good show and some good characters in there as well. But yeah, damn, I'm not even using my full time. You got anything else to say? We got a minute left on the clock here.
Mean, I can just go on about Kendall Roy forever. His characters. I mean, he's really one of the most like tortured characters on TV, and it's really interesting to see him at the start of the season kind of almost not see that and be kind of in denial of that, and then by the end of the season you kind of see a little bit of that, not a little bit of that, a lot of bit of that is no longer there, and he is just one of the probably top 3 depressed characters on TV, I would say.
Top 3 depressed. BoJack would like a word.
Depressed. I didn't say. I didn't say he was number 1. He's definitely top 3. and he's so funny. He's also very serious, but he's Kendall Roy, and we all love him. Yeah. Anything you want to say these last?
Stan Kendall Roy. Boom. Very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
You know what? You sold me. I really do need to watch Succession. I'll probably end up binging some shit with that this upcoming week. I got maybe, who knows, maybe I'll catch up all the way before our next episode. Who knows? We'll see next year.
Maybe you will.
I mean, fingers crossed. Knock knock on wood. But moving straight along here, we got a very interesting category. Obviously, we know this year was the big start of Disney Plus's Marvel series is getting stuff getting put out. We got 4 Marvel series, and even on top of that, we got some other series from different IPs. So we thought it would be best to discuss our thoughts on what we thought was the best superhero specific show of 2021. And I suppose this time I will start.
All right.
Now. All right. So we've obviously talked a lot about Marvel shows. We have the ending bit where we talk about the show every week.
Right.
And, we've said our piece about all of them pretty much. Obviously, we've gone in on some. We've loved some others. I've always said that Loki's my favorite of the Marvel shows. Right. However, if I'm going to go superhero show period this year, I'm going Invincible. Invincible was my favorite superhero show, period. I loved Loki, don't get me wrong. Loved it. But as far as superhero shows go, Invincible was phenomenal. The storyline, the voice acting, the animation, that's a whole different
I was going to be like, okay, that might be the one drawback.
That's the one drawback. But I can't remember another time in recent memory where I had nearly as much fun binging that series as I did any other show. That's one of the last ones that I could even remember. I just had so much fucking fun going through. And it was just so fantastic. J.K. Simmons, Steven Yeun, it's just, that show gave me what I needed. And I adore that show. And yeah, aside from the animation, let's hope season 2 they up that budget just a bit. Fingers crossed. But keep the fantastic, acting and voice acting cast. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, for me, I also agree. A ton of great Marvel shows. And out of all of them, I do think WandaVision is still maybe my favorite. I don't think it's the best, but it is my favorite. But, I think we're going to have a really long argument about this one because my top superhero show is also Invincible.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
How did I call that?
No, it's definitely Invincible. Like you said, Marvel had some good stuff this year. They also had some bad stuff this year. But Invincible was just, start to finish amazing. And it was one of those things where also when it was on each week, it was coming out the same day as WandaVision. So you kind of had that just excitement about getting to Friday because it meant, oh my gosh, I get new Invincible and I get new WandaVision. And then sometimes, a lot of the time, the episode of Invincible was the more interesting of the two shows.
Right.
So yeah, just that following that weekly journey was so interesting. And obviously you said the voice acting is amazing. The voice acting is phenomenal. The animation budget definitely needs to be fixed. Because
we need some money up in there.
It's rough. It's rough in some parts. But yeah, just the entire story. I haven't read the comics and I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to try to enjoy it for what it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's extremely compelling. I already know there's going to be numerous more twists and turns coming as the show progresses. But I'm interested to see where it all goes. I love the dynamic between Mark and Omni-Man. It's just great. And I'm excited to see more of J.K. Simmons and Steven Yeun going
Of
at it
course.
in the future. Um,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think honestly, like to your point about the source material, like not being familiar with it, it's to our benefit, I think, to not look into
yeah,
that because like obviously they're gonna take liberties like Marvel does, but the
for
way
sure.
that like the whole theorizing culture around Marvel properties and stuff, and obviously I'm very invested in that, but the way that I was able to be very genuinely surprised as I was watching Invincible, I
Right.
think is what made that feel more strongly for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna avoid reading the source material. And you know what? I would like to at some point down the line, but just as far as with the series, having that just completely empty head, not knowing anything, that really did it for me.
It was amazing. Yeah, and I think that's how it was for most of us. We were just along for the ride, and it took a lot of people by surprise, and then became a hit. You
Oh
know.
yeah, absolutely. That shit killed.
Yeah. So think, Mark. Think.
Think.
That's
Omni-Man for
all.
the win. That is the time on the clock there.
All right. That one was.
Moving.
I had a feeling you might have chosen Invincible too for that one.
Yeah.
Um.
I honestly I thought that that was gonna be a surprise to you, but I guess not. I guess I'm predictable.
Nah. Nah.
I guess
Just
I'm
a little bit. A little bit.
predictable. But all right. Kind of within the same vein, like I said, we got a lot of new series this year and new seasons of shows, but the thing that I want to highlight now is the brand new series that started in 2021 because we got a lot of them. So,
Did.
what in our opinion is the best new show 2021? Noah, I will let you start. 5 minutes on the clock. Go.
All right. For me, best new show of this year has to be Hacks on HBO Max. It was really just one of those shows that kind of took me by surprise. And I'd been hearing about it, and I decided to give it a chance. And I wasn't really feeling it at first, and then all of a sudden, it just really picked up. If you don't know about this show, it's about this stand-up comedian who she's a little older, and she's kind of lost some popularity, lost some traction, and hires a younger writer that is kind of out of a job, but she needs some she needs a job, and these two agents kind of pair them together, and um they end up kind of hating each other at first, but obviously they end up loving each other in the end, and it's just extremely funny and extremely emotional at times too, which I did not expect. Definitely took me by surprise there. I think it's one of the best written comedies that I've seen this year, at least in terms of new comedies. It's definitely up there for me. And they got, I believe, won the Emmy for writing to show for it.
Mm.
So they've definitely got that under their belt. They've got some great actors on there as well. And also they've got Sweet D from It's Always Sunny in
Oh
Philadelphia.
yeah, that's right.
So yeah, she's doing great work on there. But it's one of those really funny shows, and if you're doing a show about stand up, you want it to actually be funny. And they accomplish that as well. And I'm just really excited to see what direction they take in season 2, as they have been renewed. So that is my show of the year. It's on HBO Max. It's called Hacks. What about you? I think I already know, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
let
was
you
gonna
go.
say I kind of already spoiled it a bit earlier, but obviously, like I said, one of the few new shows that really gripped me as much. Reservation Dogs, like I said before.
Yep.
Definitely
Yep.
Invincible comes close, but because it got direct recognition in the superhero series, I wanted to give the edge a bit to Reservation Dogs. That
Right.
show was phenomenal for me. I loved every second of it. And I was really surprised because when I'd first seen about it, I was like, this show looks interesting, but I didn't kind of know where they were going to go with it. But it
Mhm.
really does a fantastic job with the characters that they have. and getting into it. And that's really what drew me in the most was the characters and how they're interacting. And yeah, there's somewhat of an overarching story, but really just being in the moment with these characters is what really shines in my eyes. And the chemistry they all have is great. It's not a twist and turny show all that much, but it's just so good. Every second of it, so good. I love that show so much. Surprisingly enough.
I can I knew you were gonna pick that show.
Yeah.
But I can't even I think it's also a very solid show, and I think like you're saying the dynamics between all the kids is really great. And it's just consistently funny, and there are also some moments on that show that were pretty emotional for me, like the episode where he's waiting on his dad to come perform. That one was really sad, and it does a really great job with that, but it, like you said, it's extremely funny as well, and definitely giving a platform to Indigenous people, which is amazing.
Extremely important.
They're both solid, although Hacks does have a few Emmys over you. Granted, Dogs hasn't had a chance to compete at the Emmys yet.
Exactly.
But
you never know.
I feel like, I might have you beat here. I might have you beat here. Because I have Emmys on my side.
Listen.
But
this isn't about the Emmys, it's about the Needlies, bro. This is the Needlies.
Wow.
This is what it's all about.
What did you take inspiration from for the logo?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, just.
It's because it works with the circle. It works.
All right. Okay. Sure.
Listen, that's all I'm saying. All right. It looks good, but it's not always about the Emmys. It's about the money, Spider-Man. Oh wait, I got that wrong.
All right.
I got that backwards.
I will. I'm gonna let you have this one.
You're gonna let me have this one?
I do think Res Dogs is a really great show, and I'm gonna let you have this one.
Hey, it deserves some recognition, but I mean, look, I didn't get to watch Hacks, so hey.
It's also a great show.
Like I said, I'm definitely gonna need you to keep me in the loop this upcoming year.
If I had I don't know that would be one of the 5 that I would choose to give you.
But I mean, like
5, but
for me right now, it's just like I want to keep up with new stuff for the most part.
Right.
And then the clear cut ones, like Succession, the ones that I have to absolutely watch.
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
The ones that I watch the entirety of the back catalog. But that's pretty much all we have to discuss for TV shows. It's a little bit short of a segment. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to discuss as far as TV. If you had any ideas you wanted to throw out there.
I think I'm all right. I think I'll live.
You're all right? All right. Because Noah's a TV guy. Y'all know him. Wants to talk about TV and stuff. And look, I'm gonna try to keep up with him next year. This will be more next year. Trust me.
Yeah.
But
you will have seen Succession, hopefully.
But. I will. I can. I'll make that a promise too. I will have seen it.
Nice.
But we're gonna move straight along now. We're gonna talk about some movies now. Obviously, 2021. We're in the ending portion of the coronavirus pandemic, obviously. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us have gotten the chance to go back to the movies. So what we wanted to highlight was what we thought was the definitive IMAX-worthy experience of this year. What we thought is worth you paying the double the ticket price, however much it costs, to go see it in IMAX, because you have to. You have to experience it. So we're going to talk about that right now. 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to start because I think I know what both of ours is going to be.
I think I know as well.
It's going to be Dune.
You are correct.
Dune was fucking beautiful. That that movie, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad I paid money to see it in IMAX because holy shit. What a fantastic, one of the greatest movie going experiences I've ever had. Just period. Wow.
That I am, also happy that I saw it in IMAX. I don't think I might have just gone for maybe standard or even just like, maybe XD at like Cinemark,
Yeah.
But once I saw that IMAX early preview thing a few months before the movie, I was like, this is phenomenal. I have to see this on the big screen, and I want to break my neck the whole time
having to look up and shit.
Because everything in that movie is so massive. The sets are massive. The ships are massive, and it's like, I mean, it's also a testament to how it's shot too, because like, you look at things in like Star Wars that are also really massive. Like they have massive sets and massive ships too, but they don't come across as huge.
Exactly.
And they don't make you nearly as awestruck, for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
As something like Dune does.
Oh no, exactly. And that's the thing. Like I discussed when we first talked about this. It was the first time I'd ever gone to see an IMAX film, and I feel like it's one of the few cases where it is definitely, certainly worth it. I feel like in a lot of cases, the IMAX is just really thrown in, and you're not getting a lot of that same, especially like you're saying, that sense of scale with how huge everything is in Dune. Like you really feel that in IMAX. Whereas like sometimes like seeing like a Marvel movie in IMAX, you don't get the same thing. You get like a couple of extra details. Like they have the IMAX enhanced on Disney Plus now, and I've watched a couple on there with that, and it's like, it's cool. It's cool getting the extra aspect ratio and real estate, but you're not getting, it's not taking advantage of that space as much as something like Dune did.
Not at all. And I think, it's clear that Denis had that in mind while he was shooting this movie.
Exactly.
And that, shooting it in IMAX, if he was going to do that, it was going to be worthwhile. And, that it's the most recent, like I haven't seen an IMAX movie in years.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that it was this one. I am actually seeing No Way Home in IMAX.
Yeah, look at you.
But I still, even after seeing that, which I haven't seen yet, I feel like I'll still say Dune is more worth it, just because the scale, the scope, absolutely insane.
It's just that really was. And I memed about it when it first happened, because like obviously like they did the whole famous like more artistic director, what do you think of Marvel movies? And
they always do
he did his whole bit, right? The whole Scorsese arc and shit. Because these interviewers are setting people up. It's fucking it's stupid. But
they shouldn't even be asking anymore, because who cares?
Who cares? But and I memed about it a bit. I was like, I'm gonna watch it on my iPhone on HBO Max just for the lulz. But then I was like, you know what? Let me give this IMAX shit a chance with this, and my God, it was worth it. And I dragged my friends to go see it in IMAX, and they were mad at me that I made them pay $17 for a ticket, but they were like, yeah, no, that was amazing. It was worth it.
And you know what?
It was worth it. That's the thing. That's what it came down to. I was like, look, you're mad at me now, but that $5 extra
once you walk out of the theater,
yeah, that's an extra $5 value.
And what were you gonna do with that $5?
Exactly. Buy like what, a pack of gum or something? 5 packs
for $5?
Okay, so I get the completely off topic.
What gum are you buying?
I get like the 32 pack ones. The ones, because I like to have gum on me, man. And those are like $3 though.
Insanely excessive. But
listen, hey, I like to have gum, and whenever I have people in cars, like, you want gum? You want gum?
If that's what if you're that person, then sure.
I am that person, exactly. Go see Dune in IMAX, even though you really can't anymore. Go see it.
No, you lost your opportunity. But I knew we were gonna agree on that one.
Yeah, of course. That was, I mean, I framed that topic.
Also, it was literally the only
talk about it.
movie either of us saw in IMAX.
I guess so.
So
there you go.
But yeah,
I mean, that's gave us a chance to talk about it. You know, that's all we needed. But moving straight along, honestly, let's talk about it. I know you were kind of iffy on wanting to talk about this, and this is supposed to be a very positive award show, but
it is.
Noah had mentioned wanting to discuss his worst picture of the year.
The worst movie I saw this year.
Let's go at it. Let's talk about it. Your time starts now.
All right. The worst movie I saw this year, hands down. Maybe not hands down, because I saw a lot of bad movies this year. This was a bad year for movies.
Yeah.
There are obviously good ones, but there were a lot of bad ones. And there were some bad ones that we waited years to see because they didn't come out last year.
Right.
And one of those movies that, was very anticipated for me and was very bad for me was Candyman. This movie it's horrible. It's so bad. It is legitimately it's probably one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. It is not scary. Now in this new one, they've the original Candyman was, it did have a lot of social commentary, but it was definitely more nuanced. It wasn't as, in your face. This one, it literally is like they're reading you a textbook, and it's literally like a slap in the face, to viewers, and it makes you feel like you're not smart enough to read, to like understand subtext where they're gonna put it there, and they're just like, let me read you the dictionary definition of gentrification, because you probably aren't going to be able to figure out that that's what this movie is about unless I explicitly tell you. And then, it's a horror movie, but it's not scary. And all of the, it's not visually appealing either. It just looks bland, and all the kills are really boring, and they're not in comparison to the original, it really is not. It's just not good. It's just really not good. I don't think that the script is very great either, in terms of just dialogue. And the story is really not there for me either. I didn't really care about a lot of the characters. They're not interesting. Gosh, what else can I say about this horrible movie? It's just bad. It's just really bad. But what was your worst movie? And we'll see if it's better or worse than mine.
Here's the thing. I don't know how you can say that Candyman was the worst movie this year when Space Jam: A New Legacy came out this year.
You know what?
Space Jam,
go on.
A Warner Bros. Ad 2 came out this year.
It did.
I don't.
And
I don't even know what else to say about that. That movie was just so and look, not to say that the fucking first one is a cinematic masterpiece, right? Obviously,
right.
There's a lot of rose-tinted lenses on when talking about the first one. And you know what? I'll admit it. I fucking loved that one when I was younger. So of course,
right.
I have a fondness for it. But and look, I'm this is no shade to Don Cheadle. He put his heart into this role for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the writing it's so upfront about being an ad for Warner Brothers properties. And it's just, dude, it's so bad.
It is a bad movie. And here's why. The reason I would sit through that movie before I sat through Candyman again is because of what you said. Don Cheadle is having so much fun in this movie. I don't know why he's having so much fun, but you can just tell that he is. He is giving it his all for this movie.
For no reason.
Absolutely
no one asked him to do that.
Reason to. But he is doing amazing. Also, there's a Steven Yeun appearance. Which is pretty nice. Candyman has Yahya Abdul-Mateen and wastes him. How do you waste? How do you waste him? Come on, he's so great. Now, Space Jam 2, it's bad. It's really bad. And it is an ad. Um, but Don Cheadle's there, having the time of his life. And every single time he was on screen, I was like, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for him right now that he is enjoying this so much. He was enjoying it more than I was. But what?
He could not save that movie.
He couldn't save the movie, but he could make that movie better than Candyman. And that is all he needed to do for me to win this argument here.
That's gonna be a hard disagree there, sir. But you know what? Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Candyman's bad. Candyman wins Worst Picture. No, not good. Not good.
Whatever you say, man. We're gonna move along. We did have a best cinematography category, but I feel like, in my opinion, mine just overlaps with the IMAX one, and I would just be saying a lot of the same stuff.
I figured that was gonna be your pick.
Yeah, unless you had something you wanna talk about, I give you 250.
I mean, I don't necessarily,
or 230 rather.
I mean, if you want to, I was just gonna.
All right, Noah's gonna give his best cinematography pick. That is. There's the button. Boom. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna need all this time, but I think my best cinematography pick is The French Dispatch, Wes Anderson's new movie. And I'm not the biggest Wes Anderson fan. Like, I think he makes very good movies, but I don't think he's ever made anything that's just truly blown me away. But I think this movie definitely got close, and part of it is the cinematography, because it's one of the first things I noticed about this movie is that Wes Anderson in this film, he uses every single inch of the frame. Like, there is not a single part in any shot of this movie that, is not filled with something engaging.
Right.
And I was sitting there in the movie, and obviously I'm watching it, but I'm also just like looking at the entire frame, and I'm just like, there's something going on in every single part of this. Even if it's just something small, it's something, and I don't think I've ever seen him use his frames as much or as well as he did in this movie. And he occasionally has like different aspect ratios and whatnot, and I don't think those particularly stand out as much to me as just the way he frames everything in this movie. But that is just something that I was extremely enamored by and really captured by and really respected. And it's not been getting, from what I've seen, the award shows coming out, it hasn't been getting as much love as I think it should, which is surprising because award shows love Wes Anderson, and this movie has literally so many big names in it. But yeah, cinematography wise, there is just some stuff that I was literally like, oh my God, this is amazing. And not even just the framing, but just like some of the camera tracking, and just like, Wes Anderson, he never uses really handheld. He uses handheld in this movie, and it's a really cool sequence. So yeah, overall, French Dispatch needs more love for the cinematography. It's amazing. Wes Anderson, every frame. There you go.
There you go. Well, some of us didn't get to see the French Dispatch, so
it's still in
not
theater.
Fair. That is, isn't it? Fuck. All right, I'll go. Maybe. Probably.
Probably not.
Probably not. I'll see it eventually. I'm just fucking. I need money right now. I need money.
Man, you gotta let those Fandango credits build up.
I've got my Santikos credits building up.
Oh yeah, sure, those two. Yeah,
exactly.
But the Fandango one, you get $5 after every 4 tickets you buy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can't get points on popcorn through Fandango.
You can't, but sometimes you can add your like theater memberships to the Fandango thing. So I can use AMC stubs. I can get AMC stubs points, and I can get Fandango points. when I buy through Fandango.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. But wrapping up the movies category, let's go ahead and talk about our overall best pictures. So,
all right.
For me, I want to talk about a couple ones that I really enjoyed, just to kind of highlight just kind of my favorite ones of this.
I didn't know we were choosing multiple, but I'll go.
I'm gonna do. You can do your one. I'm gonna do multiple.
I mean, if you're gonna do multiple, then I feel like
mine are gonna be quick fire. It's just so. Here's the thing.
Fine.
We've discussed this before. Is that I didn't necessarily feel super strongly about like any one or two particular movies.
Yeah, same here.
So that's why I was like, you know what? Let me just give all of these the recognition they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I didn't get to watch that much, so there's that too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start the time. Obviously, I gushed about Dune a lot already. That's obviously up there. Not gonna talk about that one all that much. Shang-Chi, love that movie. I've gushed about that one on this podcast a lot, but I adore that movie so much. The fight choreography, it takes me fucking back because I used to love watching martial arts movies growing up. I was in martial arts, so like I was, seeing that shit. It was fucking, and it's inspiring as shit, obviously.
Right.
I love that movie. Definitely one of my top 5 Marvel movies. Yeah, we'll say top 5. Yeah, I'll be safe and say top 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how much I love that movie.
All right.
Exactly. So now the next ones, I'm going to fire off a little bit quicker. Green Knight. I really, really enjoyed that movie. That was a fantastic film. Fan-fucking-tastic. And it's fucking weird, and it's the right amount of weird. I love that shit. Give me more of that weirdo shit. And just, yeah. I don't even know what else to say. Let's see, the next one. Mitchell's versus the Machines. Honestly, one of the first movies that I watched this year that I really loved, and it still holds up. It's such a great animated film, and just fucking Sony's doing all the right stuff, man. With their and in terms of their animation.
Yeah.
Yes, not the vice president, obviously, but Sony Animation is doing the right stuff, and they really killed it with that shit. Let's see here. One that I saw at South by Island. I really enjoyed that one too. That one's I don't know if anyone else is gonna get to watch that one. That's my one South by pick. The rest of them are not South by picks, but that one's my favorite one that I saw at South by. So definitely that one. And I suppose last I'll say Pig. I really enjoyed Pig. That's another really good one too. That's it. Those are my ones.
Well, I'll piggyback where you left off. If we're firing off multiple, then I'll go ahead and start with Pig as well. I really, really enjoyed this movie, and I think Nicolas Cage does a fantastic job. And it's about a pig, but it's also not about a pig at all, really. And I kind of went into it not knowing a whole lot. I sometimes really like to do that with movies. You just sit down and enjoy it, and I would say I would recommend a lot of people. Like I don't want to give away too much about the movie because I think jumping into it and not knowing a lot about it is a really enjoyable experience. But I will say if you I don't know, I feel like it scratches an itch for me as someone who enjoys the Food Network. That's all I'll say about this movie. But yeah, it definitely took me by surprise. Now moving on. Another movie that I really, really love this year is Titan.
You were talking about that one before.
This movie is sick. It is sick, and it is twisted, and is also, once again, very emotional, and grounded. There's like 2 halves of this movie, and you've got this one half that is just like, oh my God, what is happening? And you got another half that's like, oh my God, like what is happening?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really, it's an incredible movie. There are scenes in it that literally I could not stomach. I was like looking through my fingers away from the screen. It was bad. But yeah, then there's some really great, moments and stuff about, chosen family and just like, um, what that can mean and what that can look like. And then I guess for my last pick, or maybe last if I can fit another one, I'm going to say this movie I watched last year, but just came out for everyone this year. It's called Shiva Baby and it's on HBO Max. And if you like to be stressed out during movies, it is like the uncut, it's like Uncut Gems but in a family setting. And if you know about what family settings can be like, it can be really stressful sometimes, especially if you're older and people are asking about you and your love life and what you plan on doing with your life after college and all this other stuff. It's very stressful, literally like Uncut Gems, but not.
There
but it's with family. There you go. Everyone watch The Baby on HBO Max.
I didn't know that was on HBO Max. I will have to check that out because I loved Uncut Gems when that came out. That was another fucking movie going experience. I was like, wow.
If you like being stressed, it's not like you're stressed that someone's about to get shot.
Yeah.
But because it is a family function.
I mean, shit can happen.
But
she can go crazy at the family function. You never know.
Yeah, but you know what? There is they do have the through line of Jews.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. So
yeah, that's the way to say it. All right.
Yeah, stand Jews.
All right.
There we go. That's gotta go.
I got a drink after that. But all right, that's rounding out our movie category. I'm hoping we can watch some more stuff this next year. I'm fingers crossed and trying to get into a lot more early screenings whenever I can. And I'm just gonna generally try to go to the movies more and watch more stuff. Because even like there's good stuff coming out on like the streaming services and shit too. Like, I mean, I didn't even get to talk about it. Like Tick Tick Boom, I thought was pretty good too.
I know. I thought you were gonna mention it.
It's not quite up there for me, but
I
mean, like it's on a list somewhere.
Right.
For me, that's.
I've got it on I've got a December watch list, and
okay. Right.
This is the time of year that I just blow through movies.
Exactly.
Like Nancy. Anyway.
All right. Always bringing it back. Shouts out Nancy Reagan. We're going to move along. We're going to talk about music. And this is our most in-depth category thus far. We've got a lot of interesting stuff that we want to talk about for this year. Let's talk about what I call most improved. And it's a weird way to put it, but I think the way that I'm saying it is like the artists that we have warmed up to the most, or that like have improved more in our eyes, that have grown on us in a sense. So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Okay.
I'm going to say Baby Keem.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, for me, I was very vaguely familiar with Baby Keem. Noah's always been hyping him up to me, and I was like, hey, whatever. And like I'd heard a bunch of his stuff in passing. I was like, yeah, that's cool or whatever. But something just clicked this year, and I don't know what it was. Something just clicked, and it was in the lead up to the Melodic Blue, and I'm pretty sure I was talking about this last week's episode, but like that has just came back for me. Like, even though I may not have necessarily fully loved the project or thought it was perfect, it's just really stuck. And just as an artist, he's got like such an interesting sound, even though it's maybe not even necessarily that eccentric or distinct or anything. But I mean, he's the guy that I feel like I warmed up to the most this year. That and Playboy Cardi, but he's on my naughty list, so he lost out on this award for that reason. But hey, that's that. But I mean, that's really all I have to say on that.
Got you. I am kind of adhering to the rules of this category, kind of not. But because I do think I have an artist that I won't say warmed up to because I kind of already liked, but I think there was a lot of, um, I think there was even more progression shown this year.
Right.
And that's Maxo Cream. I think,
Okay.
and Maxo was an artist that I already liked quite a bit, but I think that the leap from his last album to this album was, it was just really something to see. I was really impressed. I didn't expect for it to be as good as it was or to hit me as hard as it did, but I think that Maxo is rapping a lot more vulnerably on this album, and I think he's also choosing some more mature sounding beats and just better beats in general. And I think that really, you know, all coalesced into a fantastic rap project, and definitely one of the better rap albums of this year, for me at least. And yeah, definitely recommend everyone go check that out. I did have another pick, which is kind of makes sense, kind of no, but because she just came on the scene this year, but
Okay.
it is Olivia Rodrigo, because
Okay.
whenever she first came on the scene with Driver's License, it was no, absolutely not. I was not a fan. I was like, who is this little girl from this High School Musical show that is so overrated? I don't understand why this song is so big. I don't understand why I have coworkers literally coming up to me telling me I need to hear this song. And when I finally hear it, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way this is the song
That's
that
the one.
has taken the world by storm. There's no way.
That's the
This
one.
is not that great. I don't see the appeal. And I was upset. I was upset for a little bit. And then she came out with
Salty.
Deja Vu. And when she came out with Deja Vu, everything changed. That was when the Fire Nation attacked, because I was like, this is it. This song right here, this is great. And I think she dropped a pretty solid album. She showed a lot of promise. She definitely has a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will come with age. She's literally a child.
Isn't she not though? I mean, like,
she like just turned 18, I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah, but 18 is still a child.
18 is still a child, and she was definitely still a child when she was making this album.
Yeah.
And you can hear that a lot. But I think in years to come, I'm sure when we look back, it'll be interesting to see her progression and as an artist, in how she talks about, things like her love life or heartbreak,
right,
when she was 17 versus how she may talk about it years from now when she's 25,
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a nice little marker for where she was at in her life. And it's just a fun, enjoyable project. Yeah. Olivia Rodrigo. She really grew on me this year.
There you go. I kind of always was on the wave, I suppose, but I can see that. That's a very good improvement, I suppose, in that sense.
Yes, definitely.
There you go. Now, moving along, kind of within the same vein of Olivia Rodrigo, let's talk about the best viral hit. This, in our opinion, is what we thought the best track that blew up off of TikTok, Instagram, social media in general, that went viral and became a mainstay song. So, Noah, I'm going to let you start and go first. 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yes, you are. Go.
All right. So my song is Pain by Pink Panthers. This track is just phenomenal. I think the reason so many people gravitated towards it is because it does feel a little nostalgic in a lot of ways. But it's also just a really fun tune, and I think you can say that a lot about a lot of, if not all of, Pink Panthers' music thus far. which is why I think she was able to blow up in the way she did off of TikTok and really just capitalize on all of that. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my number one song. It took off on TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok, and it's impossible. It was impossible to escape that song.
See, I feel like if we're talking about like stuff that she popped off on TikTok, it's obviously Just For Me. Like that's the one that really.
I mean, that one was big too, but Pain is like her biggest song to date. And I feel like that one was definitely.
I feel like that's just literally not true.
A lot of what?
I feel like that's just not factual.
I feel like that is definitely factual.
I don't know. I think if you ask a random person on the street what Pink Panther song they know, they would know Just For Me over Pain. But
I mean, Spotify would beg to differ.
A random person on the street. I'm not talking about Spotify.
I'm just saying Pain has twice as many listens as Just For Me.
Yeah, because it barely came out. Just For Me came out substantially after.
Whatever, Kevin. This is what I feel. This is what Noah feels. And Noah feels that Pain is the best viral hit of the year. But go with your viral hit.
That's Noah's opinion. You know what? I hadn't put a lot of thought into this one, and this one's pretty hard for me, not gonna lie. But when I think about it, Leave the Door Open was a viral song. And it's one of my favorite songs of the year. Although, to a point, it got overdone. Sure.
Yeah.
It's still a fantastic fucking song.
It is.
And it really got its stride going on TikTok. And you know, I would even argue, you know what? Fucking Smoking Out the Window got really popular at the end. And that one went pretty viral. And in my opinion, is a little bit better sometimes. Just depends on kind of what I'm feeling, I suppose. So I guess either of those two I would go for. Those are my viral hits. I like those songs. Those made on TikTok for me. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think I heard Pain on TikTok at all.
You did. If you press play on the song right now, you'll be like, oh, this one.
All right, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
No, that's not. I haven't heard that one on TikTok.
You're joking?
No, I'm serious.
You're literally kidding.
No, I'm serious. I've heard two of her songs on TikTok. It's Just For Me and the I Like You, that one.
I don't know. I don't even know what song
I don't even know how to do it. All right, stop. Stop.
How do you not hear Pain? I'm barely on TikTok, and when I would go on TikTok, I would hear that song. How? There's no way. I don't believe this.
Just wasn't on my page, man.
Well,
I like the song. Don't get me wrong, but nah, I didn't hear that one on TikTok. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know what? I think Leave the Door Open loses points though because it did get played out. And a lot of people did get tired of it.
Well, it's because it was such a more mainstream meme. That's why.
It was, but I feel like that was to its detriment.
That has to do with its fucking album rollout too. Like it getting played out. Yeah, that has a lot to do with its album rollout.
This is true.
More than it does the quality of the song.
I enjoy a viral hit that has legs. And doesn't get doesn't get
all viral hits get tired.
Not Pain.
But here's the thing: it didn't go nearly as viral when it gets to the threshold of being insanely viral that it's literally everywhere.
Here's the thing: I feel like obviously there's different levels of virality, and Pain was definitely
in the more underground.
This is literally her biggest song. It is literally her biggest song.
Nah.
It is her biggest song.
I feel like I could talk to a bunch of normies on the street that have no fucking idea who.
When you play this song and you hear that instrumental, it's like, oh yeah. Like I literally see TikToks in my head. I literally see them in my head. I feel like the facts, the statistics are stacked against you right now.
No, they're not.
The numbers are stacked against you.
No, they're not. No,
they are.
No, they're not.
Because if you were to guess, if you were to look at the numbers and say, if I played a Pink Panther song, what song would someone probably know? It's probably going to be the one that's her most popular.
That's also not necessarily true because it's been out for longer. It's been out for longer.
It is, but it hasn't been out for so much longer that it would. It literally it's not even her most. It wasn't even her earliest song. Break It Off came out before that.
Listen, man.
And that song doesn't. It's not as big.
Listen, man.
I'm just saying. She got all her fame from TikTok.
Never heard that one on TikTok.
And that's her biggest song.
Never heard that song on TikTok.
So it goes to show.
Never heard that song on TikTok.
Well, your TikTok is wrong.
No, it's not.
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
No, it's not. I'm a man of the people.
The algorithm wasn't doing it for you.
It wasn't.
I don't know how you didn't hear this song.
I don't know how I didn't hear it either. Because trust me, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't know how. Look, I don't know what happened. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. All right.
I'm just looking at the numbers here, and the numbers are telling me.
Yeah, but what has more streams? That or Leave the Door Open?
You can't even compare that to a Bruno Mars track.
That's my point.
What?
It's my point.
But is it a better viral hit?
In my opinion.
I haven't seen the evidence for that.
It's went more viral.
But it got annoying. The best viral hits are the ones that never get annoying. Like think about the Adult Swim trend. That was a viral hit. That never got old, you know?
It did. It phased out.
It was never not interesting, though. People just stopped doing it. I never saw a single Adult Swim trend video and went, ugh, another one? I was always like, oh my God, I have to see what it is about this.
Here's the thing. And we're already over time, by the way.
We are.
But here's the thing. When something is more in the mainstream, it's bound to get picked up by less interesting people. And thus, yeah.
But so was but the Adult Swim trend was super huge.
Hold on.
Okay, go on. Continue your point.
And look, I'm not even gonna say there's a lot of creative things you could do with the Leave the Door Open because it wasn't a trend. That's the thing. It wasn't a trend. Yeah. It didn't have a format. It was just a song that got very popular on the internet. Yeah. And it's a good song. Aside from the fact that it became overplayed. And a lot of that has to do with the way that An Evening with Silk Sonic was rolled out. So now we're going to talk about what the best album rollout of the year was.
All right.
Exactly. So we have a lot of interesting album rollouts, a lot of creative marketing strategies. We've been watching a bunch of people's strategies. We were paying attention to Kanye's rollouts and Drake's rollout. We have like whole fucking videos on Drake's rollout. But what, in our opinion, is the best one? I'm pretty sure you started last time, so I'm going to start.
I did.
Listen, the man himself, Montero, Lil Nas X, undefeated marketing icon. Undefeated. That album rollout, crisp, perfect. Literally undefeated. Come on. Like what else has to be said? The pregnancy video, the outrage around the Call Me By Your Name music video, and then that playing into the Nike lawsuit with the fucking shoes, and then that playing into the Industry Baby video, like the MCU, the Montero Cinematic Universe. Come on, that album rollout was perfect. And from like my marketing brain, watching all that happen, I was like, come on. That's so good. That's absolutely phenomenal. And he's a genius when it comes to marketing. That man knows what the fuck he's doing.
Montero School of Marketing. Gotta happen.
Exactly. I yield my time. I don't even need to say anything else.
It's a really good pick. It's a really good pick. And I could go with that same pick because it's very strong, but I'm not going to.
Oh, contrarian. All right.
My pick is going to be Kanye West.
I know.
Now, this rollout was very controversial. Very controversial. There are some people that would probably say this is maybe one of the worst rollouts of the year. But I think in a lot of ways it was kind of genius because what Kanye did almost was make Donda more. It became more than an album, right? Like we were going from each listening party to each listening party, and the album was evolving. It was changing. It was an experience. People were going to stadiums to hear this thing, and it became, before it was a concrete album, it was a live experience, right? And sure, you can argue about how engaging this live experience was, but the thing is, everyone was tuned in. Everyone was talking about it, whether you had good feelings on it, whether you had bad feelings on it. It was in the conversation, and everyone was tapped into what was Kanye doing. And I think one of the most interesting things was that afterwards, and this, one of the things that goes back to, people might say this is a bad thing, but after each listening party, everyone was like, okay, the album's going to drop. And the album didn't drop. And, this man crashed Spotify without having an album out, just based on the amount of people that were going to look for the album. He crashed Spotify. Didn't even need to put anything up. It was just the idea, and I think that's really amazing. And then once you finally get to that last listening party, that's when he really put in everything to that performance. It was the last listening party. It was grand. It was theatrical. He set himself on fire. Someone got lifted into the air. He got remarried to Kim Kardashian. Like there were so many things to talk about, for better and some for worse, but it was something that everyone had their eyes on, and you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't not hear about it. It was just, it was Kanye West at the very, like at the end of the day, it was Kanye. It was the most Kanye rollout that you could have ever had. It was chaotic. It was beautiful. And now we have the album, and we have the experience to show for it. So that's what I have to say about the Donda rollout.
Yeah, honestly, I think the one thing, because I was really close to picking Kanye too.
Yeah,
for mine. I just think the one thing is that when you look at it logistically and a lot of stuff, because obviously just looking at the listening parties, that is one of the most insane rollouts ever, and only Kanye West could have done that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like only he could have done that
for sure.
Just with a lot of the mess in it takes a bit of the points away from me. Not gonna lie.
Talking about the people involved.
No, not even that. Oh. Just like him, it's supposedly dropping without his permission, and shit like that. I
feel like that adds to the theatrics of it all. I don't know.
That's just like, it may add to the theatrics, but at the end of the day, that's not good optics. That doesn't look good.
It does. I mean, here's the thing.
And I guess that's why, like, I feel like the Montero rollout, because it was so clear cut and he knew exactly what he was doing all throughout. And I feel like it is a textbook case of what, as a new artist, and that's part of why, like, I find it so phenomenal. This is his debut album. This is his debut full-length album project.
Yeah.
And he ticked all the right boxes. He's definitely not a small artist now. He's one of the biggest artists in the whole world. But as a new artist, he is a textbook case of what you should be doing.
You have a really strong point there. I think, and I mean, obviously, it's known widely how I feel about Lil Nas X. So I think it's great. My one thing with him is though, like he previewed "Call Me by Your Name" like the previous summer.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for that song. I was waiting so long for that song, you know. And you could say maybe technically he hadn't started the album rollout. Well, then don't preview songs like that. Don't do that.
I mean, I was waiting for Bro Remix for the longest time, and I finally got it this year.
Bro Remix, you could have listened to the original version.
I wanted
you were
the
just
remix
waiting on
version.
Denzel's version.
I wanted the remix.
You were just waiting on Denzel's version.
Anyway, previewing music is part of the new age of social media engagement between artist and listener. So that's what happens.
Yes.
And yeah, that was definitely a long time. But despite that wait, you saw how big that song was.
It was huge. It was huge.
The song was fucking huge.
It's really great. And the Nike controversy was...
It played into it so perfectly.
It was great. And the way he, you know, wove that into the album, like the actual album rollout itself and the going to jail and the way the music videos were connected was great. It was really great.
Exactly.
And so I might give you the edge. I might give you the edge on that one.
I deserve it. I deserve it. But Kanye's rollout was phenomenal too. It was truly a cultural moment and experience that only Kanye West could have done.
For sure.
Point blank period on that. But both two very good album rollouts for two very good albums, in my opinion. So, moving right along, we've only got a couple more categories left, surprisingly enough. But
let's get it going.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun. Let's talk about what the best album cover of the year was. Obviously, that's the first thing that people get to look at when they're going to listen to your album. They get to see that. So album cover in itself is its own art form that's supposed to tell the story of your project. So, Noah, why don't you go ahead and start and tell us what your favorite album cover this year was?
All right. My favorite album cover of this year is Topaz Jones' Don't Go Telling Your Mama.
Yes.
This album cover is so amazing. For those of you that aren't familiar, first go look at it. But it is this gorgeous like spiral staircase, and we're kind of looking up at the staircase at a bunch of children that are just standing, you know, in the staircase, just looking down, and it's just it's a really striking image.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to look at. It's like the composition of the image too is just, it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. And it's one of those things that like, it's one of those album covers that I feel like I would choose to, I would click on it even if I wasn't familiar with, you know, who the artist was.
Right.
And, you know, I think that's always one of those things is like, when do you get, you know, when you see an album cover that actually makes you want to listen to an album. And I think that this album cover does that. And it's got, you know, I think it's also really cool because it's got these kids standing there, and then there's just one kid that's just smiling. He's just smiling. And it's just so gorgeous. And the shadows are placed so well, and it's so great. It's very simple, but it's so effective. Yeah, that's my pick for album cover of the year.
Yeah, no, that's a really good pick. Honestly, I wasn't even, when I was thinking about my pick, I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think about that when you said it.
I have a new pick now that I'm thinking of yours, and it might be also a really good pick.
I don't think what you're thinking is my pick. So I'll let you go ahead. What do you think it is? What's your other pick?
I was my other pick would have been Smiling with No Teeth.
That's not my pick, but
okay.
It was definitely in consideration. That is another very, very interesting cover, and I'll go ahead and gush over it because obviously, just we both said this when we first saw the project, is that like it lends itself to a very specific what you would think what type of music it would be. It's because he's got the bandages all over his face and shit like that. So it's like, oh, this is gonna be like some hardcore shit, right? And it's one of the most beautiful fucking albums ever.
Yeah.
And there's a song about fishing on it. Like, what? That's not
a beautiful ballad. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. So that juxtaposition is really nice.
Yeah.
However, surprisingly enough, what my favorite album cover this year?
It's Donda.
No, it's not. No, it's Haram, Arm & Hammer.
Oh, wow. You disgusting little
I
animal.
am disgusting, but I just like, that is one of the few covers that when I think about album covers this year, that is the one I cannot get out of my head. It sticks with you. It is
that
gross.
and Halsey, yeah.
It is. And look, if we were talking about it last week with the the list, the alt cover is hard as fuck too. But that cover is just, it's so gross, but it's also so intriguing because it's like, what? Like, what is this fucking project gonna be? And it's a fucking fantastic album too to go along with it. So definitely that's my favorite one just because of how much it's stuck with me throughout the year. Even if I had forgotten about the project at one point or another, the album cover had always stuck. That never
true.
forgot about that.
It's definitely an album cover you don't forget.
Yeah,
I was saying, Halsey didn't make the cut for you?
No, fuck no. I would much rather forget about that one.
Oh man.
And also, I did like that album. But I mean, like, couple of honorables, I suppose. The Cavalcade cover is really good.
Yeah,
and the
nice.
The Ram LZ cover I also really like too. I like covers with a lot going on too. And then definitely probably what I would say is my number 2 is If They're Mine by Reina Sokolov Gonzalez. That project, I was really happy to get that one on vinyl over there too. But yeah, that one definitely. It's abstract. It's nice, but yeah, Haram definitely where it's at for me.
Good
surprisingly
pick.
enough, yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah, I did not. I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh fuck, it is this one. This is the one.
Yeah, that's.
I'm a little gross
for that.
I'm a little gross for that.
Yeah.
No, that Topaz. That's a good fucking pick, dude. That's it's so. He needs to press that shit immediately.
I know. He said he's working on it, so
yeah.
Hopefully soon.
2 more categories.
All right.
2 more categories. We've got the 2 big ones: Song of the Year and Album of the Year. Now, before we start, I really want us, for these 2, to try to come to an agreement if we're not already.
Okay.
That's what I want us to do.
I feel like one of them we can. The other, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's why I did choose. For these, I had a feeling we should try to come together. So I do have, one of them that I'm. Well, we may be able to come to an agreement on both of them. I think.
All right.
We can.
We'll see. Timer starts now.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say one of my picks for Song of the Year is going to be "Sweet." I Thought You Wanted to Dance by Tyler, the Creator. That's
okay.
I love that song.
All right.
And it's been one of my favorite ones this year.
I love that track. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite off of that album, but I think if you are choosing a song of the year, it feels like the most substantial track from that album to choose for a category like this. So,
it feels like the moment in that album. Like that is
yeah.
If we're thinking of it as a narrative, that feels like the climax.
Yeah. I can definitely get behind that.
I'm open to some of your opinions though. Definitely. I loved a lot of different songs this year.
Right.
So
I feel like
hear it out.
The lowest hanging fruit is Leave the Door Open.
Yeah, that's the lowest hanging fruit. It's the easy pick.
It is the easy pick. I think we'd also be just a little bit remiss if we did not acknowledge Genesis Owusu
Of course.
at all. And I think if I were to pick a track from that project that I think is truly deserving of that title, I think I might choose Don't Need You. Maybe it feels like it feels like a really I don't know. It feels like a really good track. It feels like a single to me. Maybe it was a single.
That's a good pick, but I feel like we could go a little bit deeper.
You think?
There. I don't know. I feel like that's
it's a good one. It's a good one for me.
I would, because here's the thing. I was gonna say we could go with Centerfold, because that is
Centerfold.
That's a phenomenal song.
Yeah, one of my most played from that album. It just doesn't feel like an album of the year or a song of the year song to me.
See, but I feel like it feels more so than Don't Need You, because
really,
I guess just from an instrumental standpoint, it feels more substantial than Don't Need You does.
Interesting. Now let me do you one more.
We can't do Whip C Word because I don't want to get banned on Twitch.
Yeah. Let me do you one more.
All right.
The Dress.
I don't want that to be my song of the year, but I love that song, and I feel like I
would fight hard for that, or many times. I would fight hard for both of those songs because I think they're both very solid.
They are. It doesn't feel right.
Really,
but those are two fantastic fucking songs that I have nonstop been returning to since the album came out.
Yeah. I think Sweet is a good pick, but it doesn't feel like the one to me. Do you have any what are some other options for you?
I mean, I'm going to give us a couple extra minutes with this, but
okay.
I think one that like we both enjoyed a lot, that maybe necessarily it's not either of our favorite songs of the year, but could be considered it. Montero, Call Me By Your Name. I think that's a very valid pick just because of how big it was culturally speaking. And I know we both got a good kick out of that. However, I know neither of us would say it was our favorite this year.
Right. And I think if I had to choose, I might go Industry Baby over Montero.
And like thinking about that now, that ended up, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, maybe that did end up being a bigger song, huh?
It may have had, more longevity.
I guess so, yeah, huh?
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at Spotify numbers now.
You're wrong? Well, you're just horribly wrong?
I'm not horribly wrong, but also Montero's been out for longer.
Yeah, I know, it has. Not by much longer. But I mean, currently, anyway, as of right now, Industry Babies is most popular on Spotify.
Yeah.
But I mean, Montero has a billion streams.
It's getting close to Old Town Road Remix.
Yeah.
But combined with the Old Town Road Remix and Old Town Road streams, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Because then it's looking at almost 2 billion.
Exactly. But I mean,
here's another option for you. Knees.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I think we hadn't argued about that one at all. Like we hadn't even discussed that one. I'm gonna go with that.
Knees.
I think that was truly like a beautiful moment, and I think look, obviously, needle in the lens, cognitive bias, right?
Would not exist without.
Yeah.
Injury reserve.
Exactly. So it only feels right. Knees by Injury Reserve, Song of the Year 2021.
Our first ever Song of the Year.
First ever Song of the Year.
Knees That feels right. That
feels really right. A lot of those other picks would have worked too, but
yeah,
that one feels the most right.
Does.
There we go. Look at how easy we can agree on things. We don't always have to argue about stuff, guys.
We don't always have to argue about stuff, but we wouldn't have a podcast otherwise.
Well, we would have a substantially shorter podcast.
Yeah.
But hey, rounding out the 2021 NEEDLIES Awards, Album of the Year. Again, like I said, I want us to try to come to an agreement on this, like a clear-cut agreement.
Yeah.
So we're going to start now. I don't remember if I started last time. I think I did. So if you want to give your first pick, then
okay,
throw it out there.
Because we're trying to, come to an agreement. I think I'm going to try to keep that in mind. So
yes,
I am going to offer up as a potential Album of the Year contender, Call Me If You Get Lost. It is an album I know we both loved very much. And it's a lot of people love very much.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's not my personal album of the year.
Right.
But it definitely is arguably Tyler's best produced album.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it sees him in a place where he's very confident in where he is at in the industry and where he's what he's been able to accomplish and how, and where he's at currently. And I think it's a really solid project.
Okay. And what I'll say is, I agree it's not my personal favorite either.
Yeah.
So I will raise you Little Sims, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert.
Wow.
I'll raise you that one.
And I'm not gonna argue with that. That is honestly a perfect pick. It's perfect.
There we go.
That's all I have to say about it.
I figured that was going to be an easy one for us. That was what I'm coming in with hot. And look, I'll fucking spoil it right here. It's my album of the year.
Wow. Spoiling it right here.
Yeah, right here. It has yet to have been dethroned. Little Sims
fucking
does it on the album.
I am not going to spoil mine.
From front to back. Oh, he's not spoiling it. From front to back, just gorgeous. It's lush. It's grand. I love shit that sounds like a soundtrack, and that project is a soundtrack.
It sounds like a movie. That project sounds like it's another thing. That's my thing this year with interludes. I feel like interludes have been great this year for some reason.
Yeah,
specifically
they've been a lot better
on this album. Like the Gems interlude is just like gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Exactly. And it's not like throwaway shit to just put in a phone call or a voicemail or some shit.
Right.
Like interludes are a useful tool to tell a narrative story on your project. And a lot of times they just get wasted to fluff up the track listing and the album length so that way you can get more streams. And that shit sucks. That shit's corny. No one likes that. But when you use interludes in a way to advance the story of your project, that's what
we like that.
We like that. You love to see it.
Yeah, this album it's amazing. Little Sims has done it again. She's done it again.
Exactly. That it's undeniable for me.
No, she's not winning best album rollout, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, that's not
with the March rollout for the album in September. Like I wasn't rocking with that.
Girl, don't do that. Don't do that.
But she did earn a spot on the wall.
Yeah,
right here behind me.
It's somewhere. It's over there, just above the frame where you can't see it. Above good old Mac, right there.
Yeah,
but
that feels. Feels very right.
That feels right for me too. I know we could also make an argument. Of course, feels right for
you. You just went ahead and spoiled your whole album of the year.
Hey, fuck it. But I mean, we could also, we could also make the argument for Genesis Wusu. I know we both love that, and Topaz.
I was gonna offer up Genesis next.
Yeah.
But yeah,
three valid picks.
Yeah, for sure. Sims does feel the best of it all. Like I said, I'm not giving away whether or not it is my album of the year or not, but
I want to know.
You can be sure that it is.
You gonna spoil it off pod?
It has a high placement. No, it has a high placement. I won't say the specific number.
Boo.
Could be 1, could be 3, could be 5. You know.
So it's an odd number. Got it.
Maybe not.
Might
but
be.
I don't do album of the year spoilers.
Listen,
okay?
That's because here's the thing with this, right? That's the one thing I know that's true about my list. Everything else is up in the air. Yeah. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing on the rest of my list. That's the one thing I'll go ahead and do.
That is also the same for me. I have had the album that is the album of the year for me. It is, yeah. That one's
solidified in there.
That one is stuck right there. And time will tell what it is.
Time will indeed tell. And he'll probably post it on Twitter, so y'all should follow him.
I might. I need to. I need to make.
I don't know where I'm gonna post mine, but y'all already know number one, so.
I already know number one, so all of it's gone. All the excitement's gone now.
No, it's not. You got to see the rest of the list and see what else ranks next to it.
It's the big one. That's the big one.
It's the big one. Yeah. But all right, folks. That's a wrap. 2021 NEEDLIES Awards. It was a good time. It was a good
Great
time. And I am excited for what we have in store for you guys next year. Folks, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all those places. And if you're listening on one of those platforms, we are on YouTube. Just look up Neil and Lynn's podcast on YouTube. You'll see our faces there. And folks, I'm not going to tell you exactly when we're going live because we are debating what dates we are going to start going live again on Twitch when we come back. But come hang out with me on Twitch. I'm still going to be streaming to the end of the year. Twitch.tv/FlipTV Live. I won't stream next week, though, because I'm going to be out of town. But come hang out with me and stuff, and you'll get little tidbits and updates and shit about when Needle and Lens will be returning.
That's all you'll get from me, though. So
yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. It's been a great year.
Peace out.